What's up, everybody? JT Sports here, back to you guys with another NFL free agency update. According to Adam Scheffler, the Pittsburgh Steelers have come to an agreement with former Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker Myles Jack. The deal is 2 years worth $16 million. And listen, I am a huge fan of Myles Jack. He is one of my favorite linebackers in the league. I was really shocked when the Jacksonville Jaguars released him. And when I saw the news, I was crossing my fingers saying, please, Pittsburgh, please bring him in. And even though I had my fingers crossed, I'm going to be real. I was not expecting Pittsburgh to pull the trigger on Myles Jack. And if you are somebody who is a diehard Pittsburgh fan, or you pay close attention to the Steelers franchise, you would know that the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't really that active in the free agency. Like, this is an unusual offseason for Pittsburgh with the moves they made so far. Like, Pittsburgh on a normal offseason, normally they don't really make that many signings in free agency. And if they do, it doesn't really get reported on by any of the major networks or any of the major news sites because it's kind of like under the radar signings. Like, when Pittsburgh signed Steven Nelson, not too many people talked about it. It was an underrated free agency signing, and Steven Nelson ended up being a pretty good signing for Pittsburgh. And then also, like the moves they made, like James Daniels, I love that move. Bringing in Levi Wallace, I love that move. Like, all the moves the Steelers have made, I have been a fan of, outside of the Mitchell Trubisky signing. And none of you guys are going to be able to convince me to be on board with Mitchell Trubisky. Like, I believe in him because I trust Mike Tomlin, but I'm still taking a wait-and-see approach when it comes to Mitchell Trubisky. But outside of that, like, the Steelers have made some really good signings. And when you look at Myles Jack, like, Myles Jack is a really good linebacker. However, he just had a down season. But when he's at his best, he's really good against the run. I think he's okay in coverage. I don't really think he's the best coverage linebacker, but I however, do think that he is, pretty decent in coverage. So what's going to happen with the other linebackers that we have on our roster, such as Marcus Allen, Robert Spillane, Joe Schobert? Like, what's going to happen? Because I'm expecting one of those guys to get released because, we already have a lot of linebackers, and the linebacker play last year wasn't really all that great, so not really a reason to be keeping everybody, especially Joe Schobert. There are a lot of Steelers fans who are expecting Joe Schobert to be the odd man out, the next man to get the pink slip from Pittsburgh when it comes to that linebacker room. But I'm really a big fan of Myles Jack. Like, I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the Steelers defense. And it's only a 2-year deal worth $16 million, so it should be pretty favorable for Pittsburgh. Like, if Myles Jack has a down year, it should be pretty easy to move on from him. However, I do think that Myles Jack is going to bounce back. And what's really interesting to me is the fact that you have potentially 2 starting linebackers who are coming off down seasons looking to kind of have like a bounce back year, because not only did Myles Jack had a down season for Jacksonville, but Devin Bush also had a pretty down year last season. Now, he was coming off a season-ending ACL injury, so we already know rehabbing and coming back from an ACL injury does take time, and sometimes it takes longer to recover than most. And when you look at Devin Bush, last year he obviously didn't look like himself, so hopefully this season he bounces back and he is fully 110% recovered from that ACL injury. Because if we get the Devin Bush that we got from a couple years back, plus Myles Jack playing at his normal form and not how he played last season, like, the Steelers defense just got hell of a lot better. Now, the only thing that I'm hoping for Pittsburgh to do when it comes to, the defense side of football is continue to address the secondary. A lot of Steelers fans, myself included, are praying that they bring back Ahkello Witherspoon, who probably was the second best corner on the Steelers roster last season behind Joe Hayden. And then hopefully you can bring in Tyrann Mathieu to replace Terrell Edmunds, because I believe that would be an upgrade. So you look at Myles Jack, man, like he was a leader for that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. He pretty much has been the heart and soul of that defense. And when Jacksonville cut him, I was really surprised. Pittsburgh got a really big pickup with the signing of Myles Jack. You guys let me know how you guys feel about this signing. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I upload more breaking NFL free agency news.